afternoon, New Orleans, or wherever you may be. It's 4 o'clock Wednesday, so this must be the Baldy and The Blonde show. I'm Tom Coates, here with the great Michelle Godin.
Thank you, Tom.
So the barrier between earth and hell broke open today.
Yes, it did.
And a demon walked through.
It's a great way to put it. It's disgusting, and demons are real. And I am a Catholic, so I'll say that I believe that you see a large attraction by people who are satanic, Luciferian, followers of the dark guy from below, are attracted to Catholic masses because although many people don't believe in the real presence of Jesus in the Eucharist as Catholics do, clearly the demons do. And that's why it's always used in exorcisms. And this freak attacked children at Mass. I think Jesus has something to say about children.
Well, he had a few things to say about children.
Mm-hmm. Such as?
Suffer the children to come unto me was one. And, it's better
to hang a millstone around
your neck and thrown into the sea than harm a child.
Yeah, so this guy accomplished a couple of his goals at once. One was to do the worst deed possible in front of what he knew was the real presence of Jesus. And this is a guy who, in his tape that he released on YouTube, his recording, showed his, I don't know what you call those things, target practice, the thing you shoot at when you target practice.
And I think they're called targets.
Targets, there you go.
Yeah,
and it was Jesus' face. Jesus' face.
It was?
Yes.
Oh, and by the way, so, I'm not going to use the pronoun she, her with this.
No, we're not doing that.
It's a dude.
Oh, shockingly, it's a transgender again.
It's a guy.
Because we have no science, no investigations into how, well, first of all, what leads people to want to do that. But secondly, the effect of the drugs that are given to people who are transitioning on them. And we don't know whether he was or not. He's just referred to in the press as a transgender male.
Well, he posted an 11-minute video this morning.
Yes.
Which I watched in its entirety. Unfortunately, I had an extremely important appointment to get to, and I had to leave in 10 minutes. The video was 11. It's like, okay, I'll watch it, but I don't have time to rewatch it.
Well, same here.
So I watched it through one time this morning. I remember a lot of it, and but I don't remember some of the details, and we're not going to play it. We might play.
Well, I think we're going to play some of it.
Seconds.
Listen, you don't want to be macabre about it, and
No.
But I do think it's important to hear. I just think he sounds like a demon. He's literally growling.
Are you kidding? He totally sounds like a demon. Let me tell you this.
I think if you don't hear it, how can you know? And we happen to. I saw it was on X. At first, I didn't even know if it was true. I called Tom because he's the technical wizard between the two of us, not me. And I'm like, Tom, I'm sending you this link. If you can get it because it's good. They took it off. They took it down immediately, right? So we do have it.
Within seconds, I had to download it. And within minutes after that, it was gone.
Yeah.
So he posted two videos. One was an 11-minute long video, and one was like a minute. The shorter one was really just pages of the manifesto.
Yeah, just him saying, I had to do it because whatever. Stupid.
But the 11-minute one was, let me put it this way. I like the movie Silence of the Lambs, and they have the creepy dude in there toward the end.
The skin dude.
And Hollywood tries to make him like really spooky and really creepy. That dude is not 1/10% of a real scary, real creepy person.
Yeah.
That's nothing. Hollywood can't do anything. The real thing is horrific.
This guy is the real deal. He's a demon.
And it kind of...
Children at Mass, really.
Yeah, he shot from outside. He didn't even go in. He shot through the window, children beginning to pray, and at the start of Mass. And if you imagine the movie The Exorcist with all the growling that was going on there...
Yeah, like
that. You took that character and turned that character into a school shooter, that's what you have here. Except this guy is far worse than anything Hollywood could create. But that's the closest I can think of is you take the growling demon from The Exorcist, because That's what this guy's doing on this video.
I mean,
he's growling seriously like a demon, and he doesn't sound like a person
No.
who's growling. He sounds like a demon who's growling.
because he is.
Probably because he is.
Because he is.
And
because there is such a thing.
I'm
At
not.
least in my view.
I have to confess something. I'm not crazy about playing this, but you want to play it.
I think,
And
yeah.
others at the studio thought it wasn't too bad of an idea, so I'm willing to hit the play button.
So the reason I think it should be played is I think people have a right to know the level of evil that exists. And when you have politicians turning it into a political thing, it's really important to actually know what the killer was like. And this is his video that he released. And I don't want to glorify this guy in any way,
No,
shape, or
of
form.
course
We're
not.
not going to say his name or anything. This is literally going to be like 10 seconds,
If
but
that.
it tells you it tells you everything. So here he is.
I don't know what's going on, Kobe. I'm not hearing a thing. I'm going to try it again. Oh, is it this? Wait.
Do it over
Okay,
again.
do it again. All right, enough of
That's
that.
a voice from hell right there.
Yeah.
That's him this morning.
And that's the first few seconds of an 11-minute video, and the rest of it is far, far worse than just that
Yep.
weird part that we just heard.
But that's how he starts it. And he goes on to, I don't know, babble. He's got different languages. He speaks in different voices, as though, in my opinion, there's at least a case to be made. If you believe that there is such a thing as possession, I do believe there is. And it's not just because of the movie The Exorcist. There is a long history of people who have been possessed. It's in the Bible. It's in Catholicism. It's in most religions that people accept the fact that people can be possessed. And has two different voices where he's talking to himself.
Well, maybe even more than two. Again,
Yeah, maybe
I watched it
three.
one time because I had to run.
Yeah.
And I'm interested in going back and listening to it again.
I will too.
But I would caution anyone to don't be so quick to say, oh, obviously a Trump hater, far leftist. That has nothing to do with it, in my opinion, from the little tiny bit that I know, because what I've seen in the video, there's references to Ruby Ridge with Vicki Weaver, who was Randy Weaver's wife, who was killed by an FBI assassin. She was shot while she was holding her infant.
Her baby.
Standing in her kitchen, killed by an FBI assassin. She was unarmed. The only thing she was armed with was a baby. She got killed by the U.S. government.
Yeah.
He
They're so
referenced
good.
Vicki Weaver. And this guy was 23 years old. There's no way he knew the name Vicki Weaver without having dived deeply into anti-government things.
Yeah.
And that's not
So
typically
yeah, he's got
a
kill
left-wing
Trump.
thing.
He's got right-wing things. He's got left-wing things.
He referenced Waco. He referenced again Ruby Ridge. He referenced Ted Kaczynski. Some others I'm forgetting, but don't just assume he must be a hardcore leftist because he's trans. It's just not. And with someone like this who's demonic or literally just insane, he's not a freaking human.
No, he's not human.
That you can't possibly think what his motive might be.
He's an equal opportunity, he takes slings at Trump, he takes slings at, and like you said, he mentions things that are right-wing causes, left-wing causes. It's irrelevant. He is obviously mentally insane see, I don't always think everybody's insane. There are evil people.
Sure, yeah.
He is
Yes.
evil.
Yes.
And that's what he is. So to me, evil. I'm sure, once again, there's going to be 22 people. Probably the FBI will say he was on our radar, as they always do. But nobody ever does anything. And I don't know that there's any way to stop any of these crazy people.
Well, okay, the government cannot.
Oh, no.
Not under the rules
Family
we
could
live,
have,
but family can't. Did you see that? I didn't count them. The number of weapons he had.
Oh, my God. It's not just the weapons. He had tons of magazines all over his bed.
Yeah, I was going there next.
That's
With
all-
the number of rounds and weapons, he had handguns, shotguns. Some of them I don't even know what they were again. I had to watch it really fast. But a total number of arms was, I don't know, a dozen or more. I don't know.
Yeah.
And tons of rounds.
Yeah.
It's like his family somebody had to have known,
Yeah.
and also known that he's off the deep
And look,
end.
and he's got things written on the guns like "Where is your God now?"
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha. And he's, yeah, it's somebody knew that something was wrong with this guy, because how did he have all these things? Now we don't know yet. Is he living alone with his family? I don't know. It looks like from his his manifesto that he wrote, he looks like he's got a large family and he's living with them. But who knows? I mean, I just can't imagine that somebody didn't know that this guy was off his rocker. And we need to go back to putting people who are mentally ill in mental institutions.
Oh, I did see, like, right before we went on the air, that they're investigating it as a hate crime.
Yeah, well, yeah.
No, at least that.
At least because Catholics have been
If you're going
slaughtered
to
all
have
over
it,
the world.
in other words, if you're going to have hate crimes, then open it up to more than just a very few
I
number
agree.
of groups.
Yeah. So this is Baldy and the Blonde. We'll be back on this most distressing day after the break.
On the show, I'm Tom Coates with Michelle Godin. Michelle, you have anything you want to add to what we were talking about last?
I think it's important to. I don't know why. Well, I understand why they remove evidence of what these people do before they engage in mass killings. But
Well,
at the same time, I think it's important for people to hear, so that it doesn't just get into some gun control politicization of the event. And I really don't know any other way to do it except to hear what you are dealing with this person.
So that it was YouTube that took that down, is my understanding.
Yes.
And it's their platform, and they're absolutely
have every
well within
right,
their right.
yeah.
And if I was a decision maker at YouTube, I'd take it down too.
Yeah. 'Cause
So I do not fault them for that.
but I don't know. I feel like there's every time we have one of these events, everything is covered up. Look at New Orleans.
I'm not saying it's a
We
cover-up.
don't even have an answer.
If I'm YouTube, I'm saying, yeah, if you want to get it from somewhere else.
Well, yeah, that's fine.
But it's not going to be on our platform. I got no problem with that. This guy went out and slaughtered innocents, and we're just not gonna have that on our platform. That's not what we're about.
I have no problem with that. I'm just saying that there's a long history of cover-ups of every single mass shooting.
Yeah.
We never get answers to anything. So you and I happen to be sitting on the 11 minutes of this creep, which I'm sure there's thousands of other people with it too.
Sure.
But we have access to radio air, and I think it's important for people to know it. It has nothing to do with YouTube has the right or not. They can do whatever they want.
No, I'm
But
just saying
I
that
think
I don't
that
think
we should play it.
I'm just saying this was not a cover up here by YouTube. They just didn't want to have it on their.
No, the cover-up comes later.
Oh,
Don't
yeah,
worry,
absolutely.
it's coming.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah, they're
just like the
guaranteed.
covenants. The school in Tennessee. They sat on that manifesto for 6 months longer.
Yeah. Now,
I don't know.
In this case, the little bit that I saw right before we came on the air, and I haven't had time to look at it again. He went to this school, graduated in 2017.
Yeah.
And then police are still saying that we don't know the motive. Well, you're not ever going to know the motive.
No.
Because, the dude that knifed those four people up in Idaho, he never said what his motive was, and the families were pushing for it. It's like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Well, no,
And
it matters.
No, but
To the family, it matters.
No,
I really, they should have
they
never.
can't possibly know.
Well, they should never have given. We're going off a little bit here, but they should never have given Kohlberger a deal to save his life and go to jail for life without making him answer questions to the satisfaction of the DA and the families, which they could have done. You want life in jail? Sorry, we got you dead of rights on a death penalty case. You're going to answer our questions. If you don't answer them satisfactorily,
Yeah, but they would have given him a deal if people get deals. You know this better than I do. People get deals all the time to just no trial, life in prison with no chance of parole. Done. They would have done that. The authorities would have done that.
Well, they did it.
They did.
They did do that.
Right. So
They could have done that conditionally and made
but
him.
he wouldn't have, and they would have still. What I'm saying is, and they still would have done it.
I wouldn't have. If I was a prosecutor,
Yeah.
he'd be sitting on death row.
Maybe, but that means a
Right.
trial and all that.
Yeah.
and you still would have never got the motive. The point is, when you're talking about an insane person, and like and that guy too is crazy. Well, you think you're going to get the truth from them? And another thing too is motives, like
Yeah,
for a lot of the things that you do in your own life, you can't really pinpoint the motive because it's any number of different things. And so, like, why did you get like you?
I mean, did you read
Why
what this
did you
guy
do
said?
it?
It didn't even make sense. He said, "I think I have cancer. The world is too screwed up. I got to get out of here. So what? I'm gonna kill
That's what
some
I'm
children
talking
en
about.
masse. I mean,
Is
that,
it- what-
yeah,
like,
it's stupid.
It's not possible
He's a demon.
to get the motive. In other words, I just thought it was stupid when the article said something like they're still looking for the motive. It's like,
Yeah.
why? You're not going to.
I mean, I totally understand
You're
what
not
you're
gonna,
saying.
You can't get a motive of a crazy demon.
You can see what he says his motive is.
Well,
He says it. I mean,
yeah, you can get
I don't know what
he's-
CNN. I don't know.
Said.
I don't know what the authorities are looking for because it's in black and white. He wrote it. What his motives were, and they're just stupid.
Well,
and it's
even-
not true. He's
Exactly.
a demon.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't do any good because it's not going to be the truth. Anyway, if you don't mind, let's move on. What do you have in mind next?
We can talk about Shifty Schiff, my favorite guy.
Adam
to hate.
Schiff. Not everybody knows. When you say
Yeah.
Shifty Schiff, not
Adam
everybody
Schiff.
knows.
Adam Schiff, formerly Congressman Adam Schiff, now been promoted by the voters of California. He is now a senator, and he is in a lot of trouble for mortgage fraud.
Well, I
It's
don't
a-
know if he's in a lot of trouble.
I think he is. Yeah, I've seen
hope.
people go to jail for that. So,
Yeah,
it's
I know, but don't make me laugh. Come on, I didn't mean to laugh, but I actually just did.
well, because he's a Democrat, I get it.
Exactly.
If there's anywhere to indict him outside of D.C., there's a chance.
I mean,
if it's D.C., I wouldn't bother. 'cause
Maybe
forget
they
it.
have a shot at doing something serious to him, but come on. Anyway, we do have a couple of interesting sound clips, but I forget.
I mean, let's just talk just basically. Anybody who's ever bought a house, you have to fill out paperwork. You know that it says you are swearing that what you say your financial situation is under oath, and that you are subject to prosecution if you lie. So he, of course, knows more than the average Joe, and he did swear under penalty of perjury that 2 different houses were his principal residences. And why is that? Mortgage fraud, because when it's your principal residence, you get a better deal, better interest rate,
Now-
lower taxes, lower insurance, right?
let me
if you have
correct you on
any of y'all,
something,
wait, if any of y'all have 2 homes, you have to make okay, let's just talk Louisiana.
But-
you have to select one.
Yes, but at the time of getting the loan, you could get one loan and it's your primary residence. And then later get another loan, and that home is your primary residence. And the first home, I know this because I used to do mortgage loans, and I did a lot of them.
Yep.
Hundreds of them. And the primary needs to be your primary for only a certain amount of time, usually like a couple of years or something like that.
Oh,
And then
in
a
that
few-
case, I'm going to change.
then a few years-
I'll be changing everything.
No, but then a few years later, but it still has to be your primary home when you buy the new one.
Yeah.
In other words, the one in Maryland that he says is his primary home can't be if he's a senator in California.
Right.
I'm saying it's not a definitive thing that you cannot have 2 loans, 2 simultaneous loans that both say primary residence at the time you got it, because you can.
Well, all those people in jail take Tom's advice and file your motions to get out.
I'm not giving any advice,
Because it's,
and I don't know that anybody's
especially he's
in
a
jail.
senator and he's been asked about this repeatedly. And it's because there are financial benefits to your principal residence. So I don't know. He's got 2, and both of them are sworn under oath.
Well, the main concern is because honestly, I don't care about his stupid financial situation. They should go after him if he's broken the law, obviously. But who cares? How does that impact anybody
Well,
but
I mean,
him?
this
But
is
here's but there's another side to this. If he's saying his primary residence is Maryland, how is he a senator in California? That's the important question.
Because Democrat. That's why.
Yes,
That's
but
why.
that's the one that really is important. The other one, he'll just pay some stupid fine and whatever, and take care of his loans, change the paperwork, refinance, whatever. But how is he a senator in California with a primary
'Cause
residence in Maryland?
Democrat, and look what they went after Trump on. Oh my God. He borrowed money, revealed the value that he thought his properties were, and in some cases
the bank-
underestimated.
Yeah, the bank did their due diligence.
Yeah, meaning they checked what he said, they agreed. He paid all of the money back on time with interest, and everyone was happy. But in New York, that was a crime. One time only in the history of America has something so ridiculous been called a crime. It was for Trump. And let me just say again, when they went after Trump and derailed him, and still are trying to do so forever, they derailed the will of the people. It's not like I'm in love with Donald Trump. However, I was in love with closing the border and everything else that we elected him to do.
And they came up with 34 counts for that one stupid thing.
For one thing.
With
yeah.
Schiff would be lucky if there's one count.
Yeah, so
anyway,
we'll
we're
see.
Baldy and the Blonde. Michelle Godin, Tom Coates. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
Welcome back to Baldy and the Blonde. I'm Michelle Godin here with Tom Coates. You can hear all of our shows at baldyandtheblonde.com. If you missed the beginning, you might want to go back and listen to today's show to hear the voice of the demon who was responsible for the attack today on the children at Mass.
And when she says demon, she means demon.
I mean,
That's-
for those that are
exactly
just
what it
tuning in,
sounds like.
I think we should play it again, just the beginning.
Oh, I could.
Yeah, why don't you? This is the beginning of the video that's been taken down. We have the whole thing,
Wait, do I have it?
but
yeah, I got it.
just
Kobe,
so
have
you
this
can
ready?
have a sense of who you're dealing with
All
here.
right, all right.
Yeah. And that is a demon.
That's if you just tune in. That's the first 10 seconds of an 11-minute video that the demon shooter in Minnesota posted this morning before slaughtering children at that school.
Yep, during
And
Mass.
we downloaded the video just a moment before it was taken down, but
Yep.
we have it. Not that I'm happy I have it, but in a way I'm happy I have it for just historical purposes and nothing else. But it's not like I'm going to be watching it.
All right, so getting back to we had moved on and we're discussing the mortgage fraud allegations against Schiff. There's no formal anything yet, but they're being investigated. Schiff, the lady on the Federal Reserve, Miss Cook, and the third person having the brain.
Oh, Letitia James.
Yeah, Letitia James.
Well, and then again on
Prosecuted
Schiff is
Trump for really
Yeah.
silly mortgage
Right.
fraud stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
but but California really should be looking at Schiff.
They should, whatever. They
They
don't care.
won't. But honestly, I mean, if things were real and above board, which I know they never will be and never have been,
Well, we'll see.
that they would go after him for like, well, you can't be a senator here if you are
Well,
swearing under oath.
do we
that
have-
your primary residence?
Do
is
we
not
have
in the
him
state.
addressing the topic on?
Actually, I forgot.
clip or
Yeah,
anything?
we do. Hang on a
I
minute.
think we do.
I got all
I think
excited.
we could hear what Mr. Schiff has to say for himself
Wait.
about whether he is a resident of. Does he have a primary residence in California since he's a senator from there?
You would think
or
that that's
is
where
it
he
Maryland? I
Okay,
don't
so-
know. Let's see what he says.
All right, so the first clip, it's a shorty. It's like 5 seconds. It's from an interview in 2023. I don't know who the interview is with. So that is clip number 2.
We're playing the clip.
Kobe, on some of these, you might have to really crank them up. I was in a real hurry when I was doing these, and some of these are kind of low.
But our principal residence, our primary residence is in California. It always has been and always will be.
Our primary residence is in California and always has been and always will be. Now, that's not under oath. That's just he's just given an interview. And when you say always will be, you don't really know the future. Maybe it'll change later. But the
Yeah,
point
who knows?
is, he's was publicly saying to all of his constituents, you heard him say that, constituents and the lenders, your mama, everybody, we live in California. That's our primary residence, right?
However,
Then
he signed an affidavit saying, in order to get a loan at favorable rates, that his primary residence was where?
in Maryland.
That's right. So
He
I don't
signed
know, but those are two contradictory statements.
Yeah.
Not the one he said on TV, obviously, but the one his mortgage documents are at odds with each other. So we'll see.
Yep.
We'll see what the morrow will bring. What's the date on that affidavit?
November 4th, 2011.
Well, there you go.
Yep.
As compared to his statement that his primary residence is and always has been and always will be California in 2023. So something's something not adding up. So we'll see if he gets prosecuted. I can assure you there are many people sitting in jail around the country for something far less egregious.
Honestly, I don't know if anybody's ever gone to jail for that, for mortgage stuff like this. 'Cause
Oh yeah, it's
don't
just like tax fraud. You know, it's the same kind of deal.
eh.
Well, I mean, they got 34 counts on Trump. So
Well,
I mean, they wanted to put him in jail.
I know, I get
so I don't know what
that.
you're saying, but
well, that's
yeah.
a different thing. That's a weapon.
No, it is absolutely.
That's a weapon
called,
to use against
Yes, of
Trump.
course.
But to go after average Joe, first of all, you're not ever going to find out. And remember, when you sign one document and it says for 2 years it has to be your primary, 3 years later you get a different primary.
Quit taking up for Shifty.
I'm not.
Schiff.
I'm just saying it's not so cut and dried. I don't want the listeners to think it's so cut and dried.
It's not that it's that cut and dry. It's that this is from people who said that Trump was guilty of ridiculous non-coms.
I agree with that,
know,
but Trump is not part of this.
No, he's not.
He's not.
But
this is about Schiff. Not everything is about Trump. This is about Schiff, and I just want to come back and ask why it is that California residents and the government there hasn't asked him. What do you mean you signed an affidavit? You don't even live in California.
They don't care.
Okay, so that raises another issue.
Yeah.
Those are the issues to talk about, not whether he is.
But let's see how the press frames it. Let's see.
Well, okay.
I'm sure that when he went on the Sunday shows, he was grilled.
This was
right.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure he was.
Yeah, let's hear a good example of here's their grilling.
Here's the grilling from Kristen Welker at NBC.
This is last Sunday, right? NBC News, Kristen Welker.
Great job.
Yeah, she really held his feet to the fire.
Really did. Really.
And wait, talk.
Oh, okay.
Tap dance for us.
So this is. You're going to hear the questions, and I'm going to show you how he should have been questioned as a lawyer who questions people on their false and or misleading statements. You don't just say, "Did you do it?" No, come on.
Yeah, right. Okay, I think I found it. And yeah, basically that's about what she did. That much of a softball. So she can technically say, "Well, I asked him the question." Yeah, okay. But listen how she asked it, and listen to his stupid answer.
Mortgage company Fannie Mae says you're, quote, engaged in a sustained pattern of possible occupancy misrepresentation on several loans. Are these allegations true? How do you respond to them?
They're patently false, and the president knows it. In the housing agency, president's person Pulte knows it.
Right.
Let me pause that. You're right, but basically all she did there was give him a chance to tell his side of the story,
Yeah.
but framed it in such a way. It's like, well, no, I asked him, did you do it?
I mean, here's how you ask this is just, let me just do it by the seat of my pants. In 2011, isn't it a fact, Senator Schiff, that you signed an affidavit saying that your principal residence was in Maryland? And you show him the piece of paper. What's he going to say? He's got to say yes. And then, sir, in your mortgage documents in California, you said that was your principal residence, right? And that's what you've said in the news and everywhere else, right? So you received a tax break in Maryland and California, yes. You got better insurance rates in Maryland and California because they were both principal residences, right? And your mortgage rates were better in the two primary residences that you have, right? Thank you. I mean, did you do it? No, Trump knows that. Trump has nothing to do with this.
Now, again, just to be accurate.
Please, I've had enough.
No, but I don't want to be. I don't want to have anybody correcting me. Well, I want to be correct.
Okay.
You can have a second home and you get the same insurance. It's not about a lot of that stuff. It sounds like he did it serially. You said that? She said several times.
I think it's more than two.
That's what I'm getting at.
That's
Now,
what
if he's doing a lot and he's getting a primary, signing off as a primary before the 2 or 3 or however many years it is on the previous one, because you only have to do it for a couple of years.
Right.
If he's doing one and then a few months later another, or a year later another, and then doing it again and again, now that's a big problem.
We'll see, because we don't have the evidence yet.
We don't
have
know.
some.
But your point is well taken. You don't ask him, is it true? And then he just gets the floor to say it's patently false,
No, of course
and then just
not.
say whatever else he wants. There's no follow-ups. There's none of that stuff.
That's so lazy. I don't even think they're lazy. I think they're complicit. And,
They're
if
totally
it was a
complicit.
Republican, they, of course, not even just a Republican, if it was a person who's in favor of liberty, whatever party that person was, they'll be grilled. Anybody who's a go-along to get along for the COVID shots, for the lockdowns, for the spying on the Americans, for censorship, anybody who's for Big Brother gets a pass.
I'll bet you if it was someone as you described, they wouldn't even give him a platform.
Nah.
They would just report about that person.
That's exactly correct.
Right? But never
That
give
is
them their
correct.
say. With Schiff, the whole point here was to put him on camera and let him have his say.
That's it.
It's like
and she did
she
her
might
job.
as well have just said, give a speech about whatever you have to say about allegations. But
So.
she framed it in a way that sounds like a legitimate question, but really just, we all know what she was doing.
Yeah.
You heard it.
She was doing her
Like,
job.
Here's the floor.
That is her job.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. She did her job.
That's her job. So I expect that, if there is an indictment, and yeah, right, I know.
Oh wait, but we got others. We got Letitia James and who's the other?
Yeah.
Lisa Cook.
So Letitia James, that's hilarious because she indeed was the prosecutor, the AG of New York, who ran on the platform, I'm going to get Trump. Just somehow, some kind of way, which is Soviet Union, KGB, communists, show me the man, I'll show you the crime.
Yeah.
The way it's supposed to work is there's a crime, you discover it, and you go after the person.
Yeah, but not with these people.
No, well,
no, it's like I want to go. They could go after anyone.
Yeah, and they do, and that is what happens, and that's why people are afraid sometimes to take a public position on stuff because all of a sudden they'll just start going through your mortgage documents and your tax returns because somewhere you made a mistake.
Somewhere, and I think with Letitia James, isn't it that she has a 5-unit apartment,
and she said it was
she
4.
says is 4, and what's important there is that if you have a multi-unit apartment like that,
right,
that's either 2, 3, or 4 units, you get the same interest rate. But as soon as it clicks over to 5, it's much higher and a whole different loan. You can't get a conventional loan on it. You go to a whole different type of loan, much higher down payment, much more rigorous underwriting. Although in this case, that's not true because somehow she got a loan and it says 5 bedrooms. The appraiser didn't pick that up.
Well, somebody's in cahoots.
Something
right?
weird.
I mean, in my opinion, I don't know.
Because there are such thing as no appraisal loans, but not, as far as I know, not for a commercial property like that. And you can't get it with.
No.
So usually these appraisers are audited. They have another appraiser coming behind
over
them,
their shoulder.
like that. Nobody caught that.
Yes.
The underwriter didn't just go to Google Earth and catch it. There's all kinds of ways to know.
I know, and the prosecutor was at her house looking around, and all the neighbors like, "What are you doing here?" That was funny, but. And then you have the lady on the Federal Reserve Board, another, I believe.
It sounds like that's just a rental house that she's got people moving in and out of, like, recently.
She's never lived there, and she's claiming it as her primary.
Her neighbors have never seen her.
Yeah, they don't know.
In like 18 years, they've never even seen her.
And look, she's on the Federal Reserve Board, which, we have a lot to say about that.
There shouldn't even be a Federal Reserve Board.
But let's just say that they have something to do with mortgages, don't you think?
Yes.
So, come on.
But no, let her keep her position.
So here we are again, Baldy and the Blonde, wrapping it up. We have one more segment. Check us out on baldyandtheblonde.com. Welcome back to Baldy and the Blonde. I'm Michelle Godin here with Tom Coates on this very sad day in America where we have a demonic shooting at a mass of young children attending mass by a person who was evil to the core. And we covered some of that in the beginning. We played a little bit of the video that has been since pulled, and you can hear for yourself that he is a growling demon. But moving on.
Wait, can I just lighten the mood just for a second?
Sure, please do.
I have some news.
Yes.
I have a new granddaughter.
I know.
I know you know, but I just wanted to get that out there.
So
She's gorgeous.
Sweet. She's beautiful.
Mary Catherine.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes, she really is.
Anyway,
what a great name, too.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the parents.
Yeah, parents are awesome.
Yeah.
My daughter's awesome. Her husband's awesome. Baby's
Your daughter
awesome.
actually got me a great mortgage rate.
Well, speaking of mortgages, yeah.
She did.
And
on my non-primary residence, I might add.
And hardly any fraud was committed.
Hardly any.
That was a joke.
If any, it would be.
I'm pretty sure it was zero.
Please, okay.
That was a joke.
Jeez.
It was zero. Now they're going to come after me.
They're coming after me.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. So,
all right, make a joke at my expense with the feds. Thanks.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Where
we are is
we
could
Oh yeah, we cut off that. We were tired of hearing Schiff going.
I don't want to talk about them anymore.
Yeah,
we're done with that topic.
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah, we're done with that. We'll see what happens. Tulsi Gabbard's putting out a lot of hints that there's some serious things coming forth in a couple of areas. Number one, I'm certainly interested in seeing what happens on the COVID front because she and Dr. Bhattacharya, who was censored beyond belief and was given relief by the great Judge Doughty of Louisiana, and the Fifth Circuit only to be overturned by the Supremes, who sent it back down here. So there's still a chance we win that case. But anyway, it was about censorship of eminent doctors who disagreed with how we were handling COVID. And she says, there's going to be some interesting news coming forward. And let's just say it involves a lab in North Carolina, not just China, which Tom and I were laughing about because we remember talking about that way back when it all happened.
Well,
but they're acting like it's news, but
that's
whatever.
That is old news.
Right.
I remember, I think we were first discussing that in December of 19.
Yeah.
So, and in fact, there are there's news reports you can see. You can find them online. I'm not going to go over it now, but it's in the public arena.
Yeah. But
where
people
even investigated by Congress, but of course didn't come anywhere.
Yeah.
But the theory was that it was originated in North Carolina.
Yep.
And then participants in the World Military Games in October
Yep.
of 2019 in Wuhan,
Yep.
China.
Right there.
Then those Americans from North Carolina came down with COVID-like symptoms.
Yep.
So the theory is it originated in North Carolina,
where the lab was
and-
making those.
Yeah, and there is some. Oh, actually, we do have a clip on
Yeah,
that?
we do.
Oh,
Clip number 3.
I totally forgot.
Yeah.
I'm the one who did it, and I forgot we
Yeah,
have it.
clip number 3.
All right, this is okay. Oh, yeah,
This
right.
is a professor of chemistry and chemical biology at Cornell. His name is David Collum, saying that the COVID virus originated in North Carolina on the Tucker Carlson podcast.
Okay.
What do you think the dark forces behind Birx and Fauci were?
First of all, I love the fact we're talking about whether it came out of a lab in Wuhan, because that way we're debating whether to blame the Chinese or not, right? When in fact, I think it came out of a lab probably in North Carolina. A number of guys have tracked both the disease and the vaccine back years before it showed up on our dinner plate.
Wait, do you think it came out of a lab in North Carolina?
Yeah, Ralph Barrick. An artificial organism can be patented, not a natural one.
Yes.
You can follow the patent trail on COVID, and you can follow the vaccine patent trail. And
So
watch it get moved around, move from point A to point B.
If it was created in North Carolina, how did it get to Wuhan?
Okay, and the
And then
answer
he goes on to
the
explain
answer
the
is the World Military Games in
Yep.
October of 2019 in Wuhan, China, and that
I want to say something about that. I think
Yeah.
there's also some sharing of the lab virus with the Wuhan lab from Ralph Dasick to Wuhan. Did I miss? I
don't
think
know.
I'm right about that. So
don't. No, I can't speak
Yeah.
to that. You probably know
yeah,
a lot more than I do.
we were working with that Dr. Bug lady or whatever they
But
called her, Dr.
the
Bat
point
lady
is-
or something.
So when they make up their lies to cover up their, because they always do.
Yeah.
Like, everything is a lie. As we
course.
say. Everything's a lie.
Yeah.
So on all these big things, everything's a lie. So, but they don't just have one lie. They have. I hate to use the cliche about onions, but they have many layers of lies. That
they
way,
do.
if you uncover one, it's okay because it just gets you to another lie. So they put out the wet market thing, right?
Right.
And just held that as long as they could, and then it wasn't the wet market after all. It was lie number 2.
That's it.
The lab in Wuhan, right? So now I don't have any hard evidence of that here, but I know there are people with pretty good evidence. It has been so-called investigated even by
Yep.
Congress, and I don't even know where that went. I wasn't
Well, we'll
prepared
see.
to talk about
Tucker,
that today.
Look, we're more on top of it than Tucker, so feel good about that.
Yeah, he seemed surprised.
Well, I don't think as for all the help some of these guys have. Imagine if you and I had the production staff.
The thing is, you have to be a conspiracy theorist with too much time on your hands and half crazy. That's why you and I knew about this stuff
Right.
in real time.
And we didn't have enough time.
No, and in fact,
We were sleeping
So
3
in
hours
the
a night.
very early days of this, in fact, it was like November of 19 or December of 19. The story they were putting out was before anybody heard the word COVID or anything like that.
Right.
The story they were putting out was, there's this respiratory disease going on in the U.S. Again, before it came out of Wuhan, it was
Right.
here, and they were saying, it's vaping, it's kids vaping,
Yeah.
it's coming from that.
By the
It's
way,
all BS.
The demon blamed vaping too. That's why
He did.
Yeah, he's vaping on the thing, and he says he has lung cancer from vaping, and that's one
Oh,
of
I
the
didn't hear
reasons he
that.
had to kill people. Yeah,
No,
that's why.
I didn't hear that. I was in too much of a hurry.
And so Tulsi says, okay, so she's got this evidence going forward, and of course this would have all been out there, but they were censoring world famous scientists who didn't agree with Fauci, who is not a doctor. It's like, anyway, he hasn't treated a patient in, I don't know, his entire career. But she also has burn bags, bags that were supposed to be burned that they found in safes at the FBI that contain some interesting information, according to her, about election fraud in 2020. Imagine that.
Wow.
Yeah, so
I
there's
had
a
not heard
lot of good
that.
stuff coming up, going on.
Well, okay, so we've heard so much from these guys about what is coming up. Okay, that's fine, but just do it.
just do it.
Just start prosecuting. Let's frog march some people, put them in cuffs. But they're always telling us you're like who was the Bongino and
Yeah.
Patel. They were doing that. They did so much. You're not going to believe what's going to be. You're not going to believe what's coming up, and then nothing came up.
Well,
You know,
I'm
just freaking do it.
yeah, just do it. We want to
Just
see
do it.
some frog. Look, I want to see just like, they treated what's his name with kid gloves this week, Mr. Mustache, when poor
Bolton. Yeah, we didn't even get to Bolton.
We didn't even get to
next
Bolton.
week maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But the point is, it's not like we want these people arrested just for revenge. I don't care that much about Trump. I don't care about that.
I want accountability.
I want if
I don't
they-
want an out of control, vindictive government.
If they broke the law, then
Yes.
go after them. And I, as I said before, I don't care if it's politically motivated. I don't care the motivation. If they did something wrong, then go after them.
There you
and
go.
somebody can say, "Well, it's politically motivated." Do you care?
No, I don't care.
Why?
And listen, the level of egregious misuse of the power of the law honestly deserves accountability, and we must have accountability, or this country is finished. And by the way, we are Baldy and the Blonde. You can check out our shows, baldyandtheblonde.com. They have no commercials. We'll see you next week.